Good morning, beautiful people. It is the start of another weekend vlog. So, nothing major planned, just gonna take you along with me on my weekend. We've already started the day. It's 9 a.m. right now. Had my Pilates class, I've had breakfast, and now, similar to my last weekend vlog, I'm gonna head to a cafe to do some studying for a bit. There is like a YouTube course I'm gonna watch while I'm there. I'm hoping to do the entire thing. It's only like 50 minutes, but obviously I have to like take notes and stuff, so that makes it a bit longer. And I want to get through that. I've got a few things I'm currently reading in this vlog. Hopefully I'm planning to finish by the end of this weekend, so hopefully you can get my final thoughts. But I'm reading Sort of Kaigen. I am 414 pages in, chapter 22. Loving it so far. I've already cried. But I'm hoping to finish this weekend. I've got about 200 pages left, so hopefully I will finish it. My plan is maybe tomorrow, but maybe it might be Sunday. We'll see. And then I've also started reading Every Heart a Doorway. I read that before bed. I'm like 50% of the way through it right now. This one's a reread because I have read it before. I listened to it on audio, and I gave it like 3 stars. And at the time I was planning on not even continuing on with the series, but I wanted to give it another shot because like I think there's like 10 books out now, or like the 10th book is gonna come out, and I think that might be the last one. So I wanted to give it another shot, and honestly I am enjoying it much more this time around, so I'll probably stick it out and continue on through the rest of the series. And then I'm also listening to The Enchanted Greenhouse. I have an ARC copy, or like the ARC audiobook that I got through NetGalley. That's going well. I'm only like maybe 15-20% of the way in. I'm liking that so far. What else am I reading? Yes, there's a lot of books I'm reading right now, but I'm enjoying them. I'm also reading 2 books on my phone. I started Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the 2nd book, because I wanted to like reread some of my childhood favorites. I took a pause on that, and I read the first chapter of The Jasad Heir last night. I don't know what the first chapter, so there's not much I can say on it. The first chapter was good, but like literally nothing's really happened yet. But I'm hoping that once I finish Sort of Kaigen, I can probably go into that one. And I do want to see if I can go to Barnes & Noble today to maybe pick up a copy of it. And I know, here's the thing, I really should not be buying like more fantasy books because like I have a bunch on my shelves that I need to get through. But I don't know, I feel like I've been going through lately, realizing that maybe some of the ones that I've bought aren't ones that I necessarily want to read, because yes, they're popular, but I don't know if I'm ever going to actually read them. Case in point, Wheel of Time. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to Wheel of Time. It's so fucking long, and the way people talk about it, even like fans of it, they're like, oh, you just have to like get through the slog, and the slog's like 3 or 4 books. And I don't know. But like I do want to read all of them, but then there's like more stuff coming out that like I want to read. Like I want to read the Josiah. The 2nd book's coming out in like a month, and it's a duology. That's another thing. I feel like right now I've just been in a very like either standalones, duologies, trilogies. I feel like that's been really good for me. Anything longer than that, I'm like, it takes me so long to get through them. Hell, it takes me so long to get through trilogies. But usually, like, I'll read the 1st book, and then it'll take me, like, forever to pick up the 2nd book. By the time I get to the 2nd book, I'll go right into the 3rd book, because, like, it's almost done. But if it's gonna be, like, 5, 6, 7 books long, I really do. It takes me forever to get through them. What is that? Ignore the lawnmower if you can hear it. You probably can, but that is somewhat the plan for this vlog. We're gonna head to the cafe. I want to go to Barnes. I'm thinking maybe I might go to my indie bookstore, but it is like way further. So depending on how traffic is, will depend if I do that. But that's pretty much my only plans for the weekend. But anyways, we're gonna head out to the cafe, get me a nice coffee. I've been craving coffee literally every day. Do I have an espresso? Can I make coffee? Yes, but I don't have any of the like things to make coffee with. I have no creamer, I've got no sweeteners, I've got nothing to make it fun. It'll just be straight espresso. So I have been really, really wanting a coffee all week. So I'm gonna go get one. Let's head out and get some studying done. And then I think I'm gonna bring Sort of Kaigen with me, and we'll do some reading there as well. Let's roll. All right, hello. I've left the cafe. I'm sitting in the parking lot right now. I don't have my car on, so it's hot as hell in here, but it was freezing in there, so like I'm kind of chilling right now. But I'm gonna talk to you quick before I get hot. Done studying. I read one singular chapter of Sword of Kaigen, a pretty good chapter, but we're done with that. And I think, I didn't look at the traffic, but I think I'm gonna try and go to the indie bookstore, because I did look up the books that I wanted, and they do have them in stock. A few of them, they only have one copy, but like, I'm hoping the odds that like I go there and someone else buys the one singular copy that I want aren't high. Because the ones that I wanted, like I said, the Jasad Air. I don't feel like that one's like super sought after, or at least not that I'm like, someone's gonna go in there and snatch it up right before I get there. I obviously don't know if they did. I wanted, and then they were Roommates, which is a new YA romance, I think. And then, what was the other one? I wanted Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know if I'm gonna get that because I've read all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books as paperbacks, and I feel like I prefer it as paperback, and I don't think I want the hardback, because like I own the hardback of Malibu Rising and Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I went out and bought the paperbacks because I just really did not want to read the hardbacks. So I think I'm gonna have to wait a year for the paperback before I can read Atmosphere. And like I still need to read Carrie Soto's back, so I'm probably not gonna get it. I'm gonna control myself. And then there was one more. I can't remember. Oh, The Berry Pickers. That's a like lit fic contemporary. That one sounded good. I saw it like literally. I saw an ad, not an ad. I saw someone read it, and it looked really good. It's people said it was really sad, and you know I love a sad lit fic contemporary. So I want to see if they have that, and I think they did. I think they had multiple copies of that one, or maybe just one. I don't know. But like all the ones that only have one copy, I don't feel like should be sold out by the time I get there. And you know I want to support my indie bookstore. Speaking of, I recently set up my Libro FM to now it goes to that indie bookstore. That's the one I'm going to be using it for. And also I got into the Libro ALC program. So I guess if you're like an influencer, you get access to like an option of like 10 books every month. I'm so excited. I've been trying so hard to like really get into like getting ARCs. So like I've been trying to get into a lot of the influencer programs. I've been like signing up for like authors newsletters because you can get ARCs that way. And then I finally bit the bullet and I got up the courage to like email a publisher directly about an ARC, because the one I want specifically that I really want is Thief of Night by Holly Black, because I loved Book of Night. I know a lot of people really didn't like it. Like they really are not a fan of that book. People prefer her Cruel Prince series, which I dean after the Cruel Prince, but I loved Book of Night, and I want nothing more than to read Thief of Night because it's a duology, so like it'll be wrapped up with this one. And literally the day after I emailed them about it, I saw someone else post a TikTok of them having the ARC. So like I'm really hoping I get it. I want it so badly. And I know a lot of people say like when you email publishers, they rarely ever like email you back. So like maybe if they email me back, I think it's to say no. But if I don't get an email back, it might just like show up at my door. So, and it could take forever. Like I could get it. If they did, I could get it in 2 weeks, I could get it in a month. I could never get it. I don't know. And I do have a request open on NetGalley for it as well, which has also been open for like 2 weeks and nobody's looked at it. So I'm just waiting with bated breath to see if I get an ARC of Thief of Night, which I want so badly. And I've even drafted up a few other emails for, what's one, Mate by Allie Hazelwood. That one I don't know if I'll get because that one is obviously like very popular. So I don't know. And I'm waiting until we're a little bit closer because I don't know. I feel like I saw somewhere that like I think it's like within like a 3-month range is when they want to start looking at like sending out ARCs. And Mate doesn't come out till October and we're in June. So like July would be a good time for me to email them. So like I'm waiting. I just want to like have all the right criteria to like be close to it. It's in the range. So like maybe I could hopefully get it. And then honestly, because I wanted to read the Jasad Air, I saw the Jasad Crown was coming out in July, and I'm like, maybe if I finish the Jasad Air, I could like email them and be like, hey, can I get an ARC of Jasad Crown? If I like Jasad Air, obviously. And then I think there was another one I had an email drafted up for. So like, I'm just like, I'm trying to get out there. I've emailed or I've tried to sign up for a few things to try and get some ARCs, because you know, this is kind of fun. I've been enjoying reading ARCs. I know in my last blog, it was all meeting all of my like NetGalley ARCs, and I want to see if I can get a physical ARC. I feel like that's like one of the milestones I really want as a like book content person, is to like get a physical ARC. And if I can get a physical ARC of Thief of Night, it would make my entire fucking year. I shit you not. Like, the only other thing that would make it better is I got a physical of Catabasis. That's not happening because people were begging for months to get that, and like so many people got told no. I didn't even bother trying to request it on NetGalley because I'm pretty sure it's not gonna happen. So like I'm just, that one I'm like, I'll wait for, especially because I still haven't finished Babel. I'm not in a super rush to read that. I would love it, but like that's not happening. So I just know I will be hopefully getting Thief of Night. I'll cry if I do. I'm so excited. Someone's walking over here. Please don't get in the car next to me. He's not. Thank God. But anyways, with that done, like I said, we're gonna try and head over to my indie bookstore and get some books. And then who knows, maybe I'll still go to Barnes & Nobles afterwards. But I feel like I should give the indie bookstore some time. We'll start doing that. It's getting hot in here. I've run out of time. It's heated and I'm starting to sweat. So we'll talk later. Hello everybody, we're back from being out. Completely forgot that I wanted to update you and do a little haul. I started reading my books some more. I've read like one chapter more since the last time we spoke. Nothing devastating has happened yet, so, well, nothing devastating since I picked it up today. Devastating things happened before. Last night I was crying, but nothing too devastating today. But let's go through some of the books I got. If you saw, I went to an independent bookstore and then I went to another independent bookstore, but a romance specific one. I got like literally one clip of that because it was so busy in there and there were so many people that like trying to record was just not gonna happen and it was gonna be so awkward. And I hate recording in public, especially if someone like knows I'm recording. That shit's so awkward. But the first book I got at the first bookstore was the Jasad Air, which I told you about. They did have it there, and I searched everywhere for it. I got two of the books I mentioned, because I said I wasn't going to get Atmosphere, and then I couldn't find, and they were roommates. And it's not at any of the Barnes & Nobles around me, so I didn't bother going to Barnes, so I'm just going to probably have to buy it online. I could probably buy it through the independent bookstore. Yeah, I got the Jasad Air, so excited to get to this. This might be what I pick up after sort of Kaigen, we'll see. And then I mentioned I wanted to get the Berry Pickers, so I got this. What the hell? Okay, that was zoomed in, and I don't know how long that was zoomed in for, so bear with me. The Jasad Air. And then I got the Berry Pickers. This is another one that I almost didn't get because it was like at the bottom shelf where they have like extra that can't fit on like the main shelf, because I went back to the shelf like 3 different times and I was like, it says it's in stock. It says they have one in stock, so I was like, it has to be here. But I found it. It said the same thing for And Then They Were Roommates, but I could not find that one anywhere. I checked up, down, low, right. Could I have asked someone? Sure. I didn't want to, but I found this and I'm happy about it. And I like literally I'm so obsessed with this cover. It's so pretty. And then I also got the Safe Keep. This is one that Jack Edwards over here on BookTube, he said he loved this one. I think he gave it 5 stars and it was one of his favorite books of either this year or last year. So I wanted to get this because I've been seeing it everywhere. And I think I don't actually, that might be wrong. I was saying, oh, I think it just came out in paperback because it had a different cover than the one he showed, but he's in the UK, so he would have a different cover anyways. And then the last book I got was The Virgin Suicides. And the reason I got this, also partially because of Jack Edwards, because he also recently read this, and I think he read it, or he at least reviewed it, I think in the same video he reviewed The Safe Keep. And he also loved this. I don't remember if he gave it 5 stars or 4 stars, but he gave it high praise. And then there's a book that is coming out in August called The Hounding, and two of the comp titles for it were The Crucible meets The Virgin Suicides. And you also, I read The Crucible earlier this year, 5 stars, one of my favorite books of the year. And I also want to read that book, The Hounding, so I figure let me read the other comp title before the other book comes out, and we'll see if I like it. And that's everything I got at the first bookstore. The second bookstore, I picked up The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. This is another rec I got through BookTube from Books and Lala. And she really liked this one. She said she really liked the like banter and like relationship between these two. And I've heard this compared to, what is it, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies or something like that. I haven't read that. I want to, but I'll get to it eventually. But this one, I don't know, it sounded fun. And I saw it there, so I figured, oh, I'll grab it. I literally just saw it in her video, and I was like, and I wanted to get something at the shop because like I went in and it's a pretty small store. So I was like, I have to get something. And then, as I was about to check out, I saw that they had First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This is one that I have wanted for a while, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's mainly because of the cover. I am obsessed with this orange and pink that's on here. It's so pretty, and I just love it so much. And I know this is a take on Sleepless in Seattle. I've never seen it, so I really have no context for this book, but I'm obsessed with this cover. And the second book's cover was just announced as well, which is also pretty. So am I reading this simply because it's pretty? Yes. Sue me. And then the last thing I got at the romance bookstore, they had all of these little stickers in the, like a little wall stickers. So I got this one. Let me center it. Which is like a, what is it? Blind Date with a Book sticker. And then I got the Socially Awkward Bookworm Club. This one, I think this was the first one I grabbed. I thought it was so cute. This TBR cart, adorable. And then they have the One Bed Motel. I thought that was cute. And the last one I got says, sorry I'm late, I didn't want to stop reading. Which, fair, I'm sure we can all relate. So yeah, that's everything I got today. I have no other plans for today, so I'm probably just gonna try. I want to try and get another 100 pages into the Sword of Kaigen, and hopefully finish it tomorrow because I'm on page 428. So I want to get to at least 500 pages in. That way I can hopefully finish it up tomorrow. Who knows, maybe I'll finish it tonight. Probably not. But that's the plan, is to finish this sometime soon and just chill. Oh my god, I forgot I got a donut. I'm gonna go eat my donut, read my book, and we shall catch up later. Bye. Good morning, everybody. When was the last I spoke to you? I was reading Sword of Kaigen, and since then, I have finished Sword of Kaigen, and I also finished Every Heart a Doorway this morning. So I figured we'll do a little reading update. First up was Sword of Kaigen. When I started, I had like 200 pages left, and I pretty much flew through it. I finished it. I didn't fly through it because I started probably at like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock. And I finished it around like 10. But this book, I think I'm sitting on like a 4.5 because it was so good. Like the saddest part of this book is definitely the 50% mark. Like this middle chunk here is definitely the most like devastating. And the second part that I read, or the last 200 pages that I read, I really enjoyed it because it's set up somewhat differently than a lot of fantasy, because a lot of fantasy, you have like your big climactic scene and then you have like a bit of falling action afterwards, and you see that like people are trying to rebuild but they're still kind of dealing with the aftermath. A lot of this is like the climactic stuff really happens toward that center part, and then you spend the like latter third seeing them rebuild and seeing them get back on their feet, or like seeing them deal with the ramifications of the events that happened towards the middle of the book. And I really enjoyed that. I really loved the character development in this story, especially with two characters. Honestly, even with one certain character, like you hate certain characters and then you grow to kind of love them. And my real takeaway from this is that I just can't believe it's a standalone, because I feel like, especially in like the last chapter, so many interesting things were brought up that I'm like, this would make such a good book. Even if it wasn't like a part of a series, if it was like another standalone just with certain things that were brought up in this book, would be so good. And no, because at the end of this, it says, yeah, here, the adventures of the Matsudas and the, I think it's Thundeals is how it's pronounced, continues in the Theonite series, which I looked it up, and I'm pretty sure I've heard that Theonite series is not completed, like it was never finished, and I don't think Emma Wong has any plans to finish that series. So even if I wanted to read that to like get a bit more information on like things that were brought up in here, I still would be left unsatisfied because it's not finished, and I don't think it's going to be finished, which sucks. But it was so entertaining. It was so good. I have cried more reading a book, but like I cried in the middle of this because honestly, I feel like Emma Wong went someplace that a lot of authors won't do. It was so good. I loved it. I feel like I keep thinking about it. I know on Goodreads, I think I put it as a 4 like right as I finished it, but like the more I sit on it, the more I think about it, I'm like, it's definitely a 4.5. I don't think it's a 5. Like, it's not a solid 5-star, but it was such a good read. I really enjoyed this. I do think it like lives up to the hype of the way people talk about this. I love this. I love the characters. I really did. It was good. I highly recommend, if you're interested in reading Sword of Kaigen and you haven't gotten to it yet, definitely give it a shot. Just know it's wrapped up very satisfyingly, like everything you see where like people have left off, and you see that I feel like we got a satisfying end. It's just there were some other side things that were brought up that I'm like, I want more of that. I need more of that. Like it would be so good. It would be so interesting the way, I just wish we had it. Like Emma Wong, she's never gonna see this, but if you're watching on a slight itty bitty chance, just, I need that. I need more of it. Finish the Theonite series. Give me something, girl. Because what you brought up in this final chapter, I need to see that play out. I really do. And then, let's see, my second book that I finished was, what did I say, Every Heart a Doorway. And now that, I also gave 4.5 stars. We're having such a good reading month, guys. But, let's see, this was a reread. I think I mentioned that. I listened to the audiobook previously, and I think I gave it like 3 stars because I felt very like, middle of the road about it. And I've just said this many times before that sometimes when I listen to audiobooks, I give it a 3-star, I'm always willing to reread it physically just because I don't know what it is. It's like sometimes I like just don't connect with the story when I'm listening to it on audio. And it's not like I'm disliking it, but I'm also not loving it. I'm just feeling very like, whatever. So I'm always willing to retry it and read it physically. And this is another one where it worked out well. I reread it and I enjoyed it so much more. It was so good. And I remember the first time I read it, I wasn't expecting it to be the kind of story it was, like the way it went. But it was very entertaining. It was very interesting. And it's I don't know if I mentioned, like it's a portal fantasy where these children go to these portal worlds. It's like their quote unquote, that's where they call like home. And a lot of these worlds are either like really, they call it like high nonsense or high virtue or high logic, but like some of them are like the underworld worlds, some of them are rainbow worlds, like they're just all these different type of worlds, but then somehow they end up back in our world, and they're all wanting to obviously go back to find their doors and go back to where they, call home, but none of them can go back, and their parents think that they're kind of, making this up, or they're having, mental issues or whatever, like their mind's playing tricks on them, so they send them all to this school where other children have gone through their doors, and now they're back. And I don't even know what the synopsis is because I didn't read it, so I don't want to like give anything away. And I think the first time I did the synopsis because like what happens in it, I was completely shocked by it. Like I wasn't expecting it, at least the first time, because obviously after I read it, so I know what happens this time. But it was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much, and I love seeing all these different people and like all of their different weird ass worlds that they've been to. And I already have downloaded the second book, Down on the Sticks and Bones, onto my Kindle because the first 3 books are on Kindle Unlimited, which I love. And then my library does have the rest of the series except for Across a Dream something. I don't know. I think it's like the 6th book. My library doesn't have it. It's not on Kindle Limited, so I'm probably just gonna end up having to buy it if I continue on, which I do plan to continue on, like, obviously. But I know a lot of people say that a lot of, like, fans of the series, you're either fans of the, like, odd books or the even books. So you're either a fan of, like, 1, 3, 5, 7, or 2, 4, 6, 8. Like, because I guess they're different, because, like, the first books take place in our world at the schools after the children have come back from their worlds, and then I think the even books take place in those worlds, which I know the second one we're following 2 characters that we met in the first book, but it takes place before the events of the first book, like when they're still in their world for the first time. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I enjoy it, because honestly I want to see what happens at the end of this book, like carry on from that would be interesting. I want to see where we go from there, which I mean, hopefully maybe we get that in this book as well as, like, maybe towards the end. But I'm enjoying it. I loved it. I already bought, like, a box set of the first 3 just to have, because I really want to read it. And honestly now this makes me really want to read what's her other book, what's that book called? Oh, Middle Game. Middle Game, because that one's, like, all about chess, or I think it says, like, a chess word, because that was another one that I started on audio and then I actually DNF'd it because, again, I was just feeling like about it. So I just put it down. I was like, okay, I think I'm just not Shauna Maguire girly, but I'm glad I gave it a second chance because I enjoyed it more, so I want to give that one a second chance. And that one is also on Kindle Unlimited, so I can give it a shot and I don't have to buy it. So yeah, I'm gonna continue with that. I'm probably not gonna be starting Endgame anytime soon. I may, depending on how far I get into Wayward Children, because I may just, like, keep picking them up as I go. But I do have an arc for Thirsty that I got off of NetGalley, which I want to get to soon, because I really like to try and get, like, my NetGalley stuff read and reviewed quickly, because that does help with getting, like, further NetGalley stuff. So I do want to start that, but, like, I also really want to continue on with Wayward Children. So I don't know if I should, like, put a pause on Wayward and then just go into Thirsty and finish that up, because it's a romance and I think it's only, like, maybe 300 pages. So I could do that quickly. Maybe I'll do that so that I can at least get it done with NetGalley and then just go right back into Wayward Children. But I don't want to read that and then, like, my mood changes and then I don't want to read anymore. That takes me forever to finish the series. Ugh, it's such a dilemma. But I know. So I'm either going to be starting Down on the Sticks and Bones or Thirsty next. I feel like I'm going to try and do Thirsty because I want to be good about my NetGalley arcs. And I'm still reading The Enchanted Greenhouse. I'm, like, almost 40% of the way through, because I was listening to a lot of it when I was driving around yesterday. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely a cozy fantasy, which I think I'm just not a cozy fantasy person. I'm not disliking it, but I'm not, like, loving it as I feel I would maybe, like, a darker story. Because even, like, Every Heart of Dora, I feel like people think maybe that's, like, oh, it's, like, cozy, but, like, this one was kind of dark. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And I don't know, Enchanted Greenhouse, it's going perfectly fine. And I feel like because I just said, like, oh, I listen to audiobooks, so I'm feeling fine about it, then I need to reread them. I don't know, I feel like because I know I'm not a cozy fantasy person, maybe I won't reread it, but I haven't physically read a cozy fantasy. I don't think I've read really any cozy fantasy other than, what is it, the regular Witches one. I read that one and I still own it. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, there it is, down there, because I do plan on hauling that. And then that might be the only one I read, and that one I also gave 3 stars, but I also listened to it on audio. I don't know, so maybe I need to, like, give a cozy fantasy a chance by reading it physically. But this one is going perfectly fine. We've just learned some things that, like, is getting more interesting. So I think we're shifting. I'm enjoying it more. We're shifting more to maybe a 3.5, maybe a 4. We'll see. But I want to get that one done today. I think I want to make that one a priority and get that one done and get that one reviewed on NetGalley. And then last night I did read another chapter of the Just Saw It Air. I'm literally only on chapter 3. I'm 30 pages in. But I will continue on with this probably once I'm done with the Enchanted Greenhouse. I'm enjoying this so far. I know some people said they would enjoy this. I know I saw one TikTok say that she didn't really get, like, she wasn't really, like, invested until, like, 50 pages in. I read chapter 2 last night and, like, I'm invested. Chapter 2 was good as hell. So I'm excited to continue on with this, and I'm hoping to finish this. I'm probably not gonna finish this in this vlog because, like I said, it's already Saturday. I'm gonna be wrapping this up tomorrow. The chances of me reading all of this between now and then are very slim, but who knows, maybe I could get, like, a good chunk of it done. Maybe I could get, like, half-ish way through in this first vlog. We'll see. But yeah, that's my full up for today. I really don't want to leave the house, but I feel like I kind of need to, because I feel like I need to get my nails done. It's been 3 weeks. They're holding on pretty good. Like, they don't even look bad. Could I go another week? Maybe, but I kind of need to get them done. I just really don't want to sit there and do it. And then I also need to go to the library because I put a hold out for Shark Heart, but I bought the book and I forgot I still had the hold, and I can't like cancel the hold on my phone, and they're gonna hold it until like I think next week. And I could just let it lapse, but I feel like I should go in and like return it so that whoever's waiting for it next can get it. So I do feel like I need to at least do that. And like the library's closed on Sunday, so I would have to do it today or go sometime during the week, which I don't want to do. I feel like I have to leave out. Usually, well, I'm getting my nails done. I could listen to my audiobook, but then I feel like that's rude. But I don't talk to them, and like I don't want to talk to them when they're doing my nails. I just kind of sit there quietly because like, and it's not that I'm like I don't want to talk to them because they're whatever. I'm introverted. I just hate talking to people I don't know. So I feel like it's always awkward. I feel like I always struggle to make conversation. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I will at least go to the library. I'm gonna commit to doing that, and then today I'm gonna finish the Enchanted Dream House, and you will get my full thoughts on that by the end of today. But I really have no other plans, so we're probably just gonna be chilling. It's gonna be a chill weekend. Oh, maybe I'll do some editing. Yeah, I'll start editing this vlog. That's the plan. Actually, I think I need to record another video. I do have a sit-down video I need to record. I keep forgetting about for next week. We're gonna be recording, we're gonna be editing, we're gonna be reading. It's gonna be a full weekend. Hello, it is hours later since we spoke. It's now 9:30 p.m. I did finish the Enchanted Greenhouse, and I'm giving it 4 stars. And I think I feel the same way about this as that I felt about Atomic Noodle, is that I want to like preface it by saying like cozy fantasy and like cozy sci-fi and stuff like that I don't dislike. I just feel like I do tend to enjoy darker stories more. Like grimdark is one of my favorite genres. So my taste definitely leans more towards the darker side. That's what I find more entertaining. So I don't feel like I would ever give like a cozy book 5 stars. Keep in mind, I did still give this 4 stars. So I did still enjoy it. And it was really good. I think we follow our main character, Terlu, who like animates a plant. But I guess that's like forbidden in this land. There's laws against it. So she's sentenced to be turned into a statue, and like she's supposed to be a statue for however long they deem appropriate. But then she gets sent to some island with greenhouses, and she's unstatuified, and she runs into the gardener there who's really grumpy, and somehow like all the greenhouses are dying, so all the plants on this island are dying, and they need to figure out a way to like save the plants. So I did think it was interesting. There's like a little bit of a romance between Terlu and the gardener, and I thought that was really cute. I thought it was very sweet, and I loved their like interactions. And there were other storylines like with the gardener and like his family, and then with plants and everything that was going on there. So I thought a lot of that was interesting. I think my only real complaint is that I just felt like it was too long. The physical copy of this book is supposed to be almost 400 pages, at least on Goodreads it says 384. And honestly, I felt like if we brought that down to like solid 300, it would have worked for me. I just felt like it was too long. It was dragging for a bit there at certain parts. Like there was never a part where I was like, oh, this is taking forever. It's slogging. Like there was never really that, but it definitely felt like it was going on for a bit too long. Certain things could have been a bit shorter, a bit more concise. But other than that, I do think if you're a person who likes cozy fantasy and likes those cozy types of stories, definitely give this one a shot. I know this is the same author of The Spell Shop. I haven't read that, so I can't really compare and tell you like which one's better, which one to read. I might give The Spell Shop a shot, but I don't know, that might be like if I'm in the mood for something like light and easy and fun, that's when I might pick that up. But right now, that's gonna be put off for a bit. Like I said, if it sounds interesting to you, definitely give it a shot. I definitely think this is one of the cozier fantasies that I've read that I've enjoyed, because usually I feel very about them, but I did really like this one. I thought it was good. And now I am probably going to read another chapter of the Jasad Air. Like literally for the past 3 days, I've been reading one-off chapters. I read one chapter, when was it? Thursday night. I read one chapter last night because I didn't finish Sword of Kaigen until late. And now I'm probably going to get to one chapter through this again because it's already, like I said, already 9:30. Maybe I'll try and read 2 chapters. We'll stretch it out a bit, but I'm going to read a few more chapters of this, and I really want to try and like lock in on this tomorrow because I finished all the other things, so I can kind of put my full focus into this. I'm excited to get into it. And I did fill out a request because I guess Orbit has like a request form if you are an influencer and you'd like to request an art copy. I filled out one of those for the Jasad Crown, so who knows if I'll get it. I don't know. Like I said, with a lot of these, like they don't reply, so you just never know if you're gonna get anything. So I filled it out and we'll see. And then I think you saw, like I was on my computer earlier, I was just going through NetGalley and I did what like everyone tells you not to do, and I just started putting in requests. I was feeling myself. As I was listening to Enchanted Greenhouse, I was just request. Now I have, I think, 12 requests currently pending. So we'll see how that goes. And most of them, I think there's only like there's one singular audiobook, which for me at least, I can get the audiobooks quicker because there's something I have to like sit down and dedicate time to. I can put my headphones on and like do other things while I'm still listening to audiobooks. With the physical book, like I have to actually dedicate time. And if I'm not enjoying it, it takes me even longer to get through. So we'll see how this goes. I know usually when you do that, that's when like all of your requests get like approved all at once, and then suddenly now you got 12 books to read and your feedback ratio is like 14%. But I can help myself. I sent some things. Some of the ones I sent in, I did The Everlasting by Alex Hero, which is from what I've heard, the like expanded version of Six Deaths of the Saint, which was her like short story that she wrote back in, I think it was like 2023, end of 2023 is when it was published. And I love Six Deaths of the Saint. I've read it twice already. I'm obsessed with it. Like, it's literally 30 pages, and Miss Alex Hero got me to cry within 30 pages, so I applaud her for that. So, like, I definitely want to try and read this expanded version. And then someone on a fucking motorcycle, and they're being so fucking loud. Drive. And then there was, I think it's called The Red Winter, which is also through Tor. And I saw they posted this on their Instagram. Well, I saw it yesterday, I don't know when they posted it. But this one sounded good. And I don't know, it was giving me like Van Helsing vibes, the movie with Hugh Jackman. I don't know why it was reminding me of that, but like I feel like it was kind of giving me that vibe, but like a little different. And then it says it is also a love story. So like this sounded interesting. So I put in a request for that. I put in a few for Tor, which kind of scares me because I've heard people say that like it's hard for them to get stuff through Tor. But then also I feel like sometimes it's just like, it kind of depends on the person, because there were a few people that I saw that said it was hard for them to get anything through Macmillan Audio. And I've already gotten 2 requests, because one of them, the Bearer of Bones of the Midnight Soil sneak peek, that one was a read now, but it was through Macmillan, so like it still counted as an approval. And then Automatic Noodles and The Enchanted Greenhouse, I got both of those. And now I have another one out for an audiobook for The Library at Hellbore, which is by Cassandra Caw, also through Macmillan Audio. That one, I really want to read it because the premise sounds really interesting, but I've only read one other Cassandra Caw and I did not like it. I didn't like it at all because Cassandra Caw has her writing style just really doesn't work for me. It's like she uses the most obscure fucking words, and it doesn't add anything to the book, nor the plot, nor the writing. It just makes it infuriating to read. But I'm hoping, since it's the audio, it'll be a little bit easier to read and won't be as like glaringly annoying. Ooh, but I also put in a request for Killer on the Road / The Babysitter Lives by Stephen Graham Jones, who I love. Stephen Graham Jones, I read My Heart is a Chainsaw a couple years ago. Obsessed. So I kind of want this one. And this is like 2, I don't know if they're 2 novellas or 2 short stories, or if it's just 2 full-length novels, but they're gonna be printed in like one bound up edition that's supposed to like flip based on the side that you're reading it, so that sounds really good. And the other like top ones, I think those are like the main ones. Oh, there's a horror, You Weren't Meant to Be Human. This one sounded good. It said it was like Midsummer mixed with some other horror movie, which full disclosure, like I don't watch horror movies. I read horror books, but I do not watch horror movies. I hate horror movies. They're just I'm too much of a little bitch to be able to watch a horror movie, but I love a horror book. And that one sounded really interesting, so I put in a request for that one. Then I have like I actually have, 1, 2, 3, 4 graphic novels / manga. So those are easy to read. I can read those in like one sitting. And then I have one romance, Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. That's through Berkeley, and that one also stresses me out because people say that like they don't get approved through Berkeley a lot, and you have to have like 10,000 followers to get something approved through Berkeley. I don't know. I thought I'd give it a shot. I sent something out there. So I've got a few options. I've sent them out. Now we wait and see if anything gets back. And who knows? I might be posting another video trying to get through all my NetGalley arcs. So we'll see. Who knows? I might decline for half of these, but we'll see. I don't know what the hell's going on outside right now, but either a motorcycle or someone in their souped up fucking muscle car keeps driving by, because it's in the past like 2 minutes. It's either 3 different ones have driven by, or this one's just going in fucking circles. I need to shut the fuck up. Anyways, enough of me being aggressive. I'm gonna close my laptop. We're done looking through NetGalley. I don't need any more arcs. We're gonna continue on with the Jasad Air. And also, I'm probably going to pick up Thirsty by, I think it was Lucy Lehane is the author's name. I'll pick that up. It's my one singular NetGalley arc that I still have out. I don't think it's coming out till October because it's a paranormal romance, so I think it's more an autumnal read, but I'm gonna read that because it did look fun. It's an MM romance, so I'll probably read like a chapter or two of that before bed, and then we'll chit chat in the morning. I've decided I'm not going to run club, not even because I don't want to run. This is right now, like I really just don't feel like being social, and I gotta go there, and like bare minimum I'm probably gonna have to talk to people, and I just don't feel like doing that. I do not have the need to want to go and talk to other people. Like I enjoy run club and I think it's fun, and I like being able to like run out in public and not have to like run by myself, because sometimes that can be kind of sketchy. But right now, I don't know, my social battery is just not it. So we're gonna avoid that. I guess I'm just not working out tomorrow. I mean, I could do something at home, but I also hate working out at home, so we'll see what happens. I need to go grocery shopping, which I didn't think about, so I gotta be up early and do that because I need, food for the next week. I'm hoping to just grab like a handful of things, be in and out, and then I don't know, we're just gonna do what we did yesterday, today, sit in my apartment, read my book, and do nothing else. Continue to live my lovely hermit life. Anyways, I will talk to you guys in the morning because you're probably not going to get any more updates tonight. And we will, I don't know, you're probably not going to get much of an update on this tomorrow either because like I said, I'm reading like 1 or 2 chapters. But we'll talk later when I have things happening. Good night. Hello. As you can see, we're back in the car now. Just got my nails done. Aren't they beautiful? I basically got the same thing I had before with the blue tips. I just did pink because I figure it's summer, let's do like a hot pink. I had Gel X before, which is like it has the tips, so this time I got the Gel X removed, I got the tips removed, and this is just like my nail with hard gel on top. So I love that, and it's so pretty. I don't know, I feel like I'm really just into like the colored French tip. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm going for. I'm gonna do color again, and maybe I'll do an extra dye, because I see some people get like little flowers on it, like on the nails, and I feel like that's really adorable. So I might do that next time. But I don't know, like, I love having my nails done. Like, I love having nice nails. I hate getting my nails done because I just don't want to sit there forever. But while I was sitting there, I said that like, I felt like it was awkward to like start an audiobook, because like you can't really talk to them. Granted, I don't want to talk to them because it's awkward and like we have nothing to talk about. And also, like, while they're doing stuff, she's using like the drill and stuff like that, so like it's loud, so I can't even really hear her anyways. And she had a mask on, so there was the drill, her mask, like I really, anytime she would ask me a question, I was kind of like, huh, because I couldn't hear her and I couldn't like read her lips or anything either. But I started listening to the audiobook for Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. Going well so far. I went into this not knowing anything. I've only read 2 of Alex E. Harrow's short stories, The Sixth Death of the Saint and The Night and the Butcher Bird. I really enjoyed both. I gave Sixth Death of the Saint 5 stars. I've read it twice since then. And I've heard Starling House is really good, and 2 different people in like 2 different TikTok videos in the comments said that the audiobook for Starling House is really good, so I started that. And it's going really well. It's very like weird and eerie. It's giving like Starling House is like a haunted house, and it's kind of like, it seems like it's like the family that lives there, the Starlings, are like very weird and eccentric. Like the town just like doesn't trust them, and like all these weird things have happened with them. And right now we've gotten the POV of our main character, who now like works as a housekeeper, and then Arthur Starling, who's like the sole heir. And it seems like, I don't know, it's giving like haunted house kind of, because he mentioned that like the house wants her, and I was like, okay, interesting. I genuinely went into this book having absolutely no idea what the plot was. I didn't even realize I had never even looked it up. I just heard people talk about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I liked Alex E. Harrow's other 2 books, so, and this is the first full-length novel I will have read from her, so hopefully I like it. It's going well so far. You're probably not gonna get my final thoughts in this video because it ends today, but so far, very good. I think I'm like maybe 15-20% of the way into it. I'm enjoying it. And then I do also hold a hold for The Once and Future Witches, which is another Alex E. Harrow book. That one hasn't come off my Libby yet. I think I still have a couple weeks on that, but that should be coming up soon. And I mentioned last night, I did put in a NetGalley request for her new book, The Everlasting, which is the like expanded version of Sixth Death of the Saint. So hopefully I get that, because I really want that. That's also very exciting. But right now I need to go back to my apartment. I need to get lunch, and I need to go back to my apartment because this morning I filmed my TBR for the r/fantasy bingo board for the year. So I need to edit that, put it together, because that's going to be up next week. And then I want to finish editing this vlog, because that'll be up the week after. So I got a lot of editing to do today, so who knows how much of the Jasad air I'm going to get into, because editing might take me a little bit. The TBR video will be easy to edit. This will be easy to edit, because I have like all of my footage from yesterday, and then whatever is left of the footage today I have to edit. So I'll probably be editing for the rest of the day, because I don't usually edit during the week. I try to keep my editing to the weekends. So I could finish editing the TBR video today and then finish editing this vlog next week, because I don't need it till the week after. We'll see what I end up doing. We'll see how I feel. But right now I need to turn my AC on because it is sweltering here. The high today is 102. So love that. It's literally a oven in my car right now. But I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for lunch. And then I think I also need to start like prepping my lunch and dinner for the week, which I also really don't want to do. But we'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes down. We will chit chat later when I have maybe a book update, or maybe just a day update when I'm done editing. Hello, back at the apartment. I have changed my mind. I'm not gonna edit, because I feel like editing is just gonna take me until the rest of the day, and I really do want to take some time and like really sit down and get into the Jasad air. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm only on chapter 4, which is like, how many pages into this physical? 44 pages into the physical copy. But I did just get a little delivery. There we go. I bought a box set of the first 3 books in the Wayward Children series. So Every Corner Doorway, Down Among the Stick and Bones, and Beneath the Sugar Sky. I started the first chapter of Down Among the Stick and Bones last night. I did not finish the first chapter because I was tired. But I'm also reading, I did also start, what was it, Thirsty by Lucy Lehane. Another one, I only read the first chapter. So I tried to read the first chapter of both. I only read the first chapter of Thirsty. This one's good. This is the one I'm on. This is the second book. And this is the one that takes place prior to the events of the first book. So, like, literally nothing's happened. I guess I didn't even finish the first chapter. But I'm excited to get into this. Hopefully get into the rest of the series. Oh my god, it's got art. Shut up. Does Every Heard a Doorway have art? Hold on, let me show you. I don't think this is a spoiler because nothing like too crazy is happening in this. But it's got art. I did not know. Now I need to look through Every Heard a Doorway and see if it has art. But yeah, like I mentioned, I read the first chapter of Thirsty last night, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, like, nothing much happened, but the premises behind this is it's our world, but like supernatural beings are like known. They like came out of hiding like a year ago. So now, like, everyone knows about them, and one of our main characters is like a review columnist, or like he's an advice columnist, so he gives out advice to people. And right now his advice column is like kind of getting stale, but a lot of supernatural beings are asking him questions, but he doesn't know how to answer that because he doesn't know supernatural beings. He's not a supernatural being. He doesn't know how to answer it. And then he runs into, I guess, the ex-boyfriend of one of his college roommate, who he figures out is a vampire. But this guy doesn't like him because he thinks that our main character like convinced his girlfriend to break up with him. But like their interaction in that first chapter was so funny because this guy said he was born in like he was turned to a vampire in 1809. And the way he's like communicating with him of like how he doesn't like him, you could tell he talks like he's not from our time, but it's funny because he's like, oh, I'm going to get my revenge against you. And the guy's like, because he wanted him to help him with his column, he said, no, I'm not helping you. I've completed my revenge. And like that's his whole thing. I don't know. I'm not explaining it well, but it was funny. So I'm enjoying that. And then I'll probably continue on with both that and Down Among the Stick and Bones, like when I go to bed. This one also has art. I remember this scene when they talked about this. That's so nice. I did not know this had art. And here's the thing. I used to own Every Heart of Doorway. I bought that one, and then I got rid of it because, like I said, I listened to the first book on audio, and I was like, oh, it's not that good. And then I think I was moving, so I was like unhauling a lot of things. So I got rid of it. And now, you know, the reason why I don't tend to unhaul a lot of things because things like this happen. I reread it and then I'm like, actually, it was really good, and now I need to buy it. So I mean, I bought it in a box set, so like it was kind of worth it because I think buying them all separately probably still would have been about the same price I paid for the box set. Art in here is so nice. Okay, well, the fact, at least in the ebook that I was looking at, didn't have any art. Not that I could tell. How fucking rude. But good to know. I'll go through the art while I'm reading the next one. But we'll see. I really liked the first one. Hopefully I like the second one. Like I mentioned, it's either like you like the even books, the odd books. So I guess we'll find out who I am. Hopefully I like both. That would be preferable. The fact that these spines don't match at all is low-key kind of annoying. Like I thought this was like pushed up, but like no, that's just how it is. Like none of them are the same. This isn't even like the bottom of the book that's showing. That's just, there's a bar there on the dust jacket and there's like no bar here, so now they're not even. And then this one says tour.com. Like I said, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna read the Jasadair for a bit. Hopefully I can get a good little chunk of the way through this and give you some sort of update. Like I said, I'm not finishing it tonight. I'm not that optimistic in my reading speed, but I wanna get a good way into this. And then I'll just leave my editing for next week. That way I can just kind of chill on this Sunday and not really stress about anything. Because I feel like the most stressful thing usually for me with stuff is the filming of it. The editing usually isn't that bad. The filming is what usually takes up the most time. So now that I don't have to do that, I've filmed it, I can just enjoy my time. But yeah, we will talk later when I've done some reading and I've got some updates for you. Hello, it's later in the day. We're coming to the end of this vlog. Actually, yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I don't really have much else to say, but I did get 150 pages into the Jasad Air. I'm enjoying this so far. I'm very confused at times, but I feel like I'm supposed to be confused. So at this point in the story, our main character, what's her name? Sylvia is what she's going by. She's the, lost Jasad heir after her entire family was killed, and she's living in this like rinky-dink little village. And then she runs into the Nizal heir, and he figures out pretty immediately that like she is a Jasadi. He hasn't figured out that she's the heir. I think that's, I'm expecting maybe to find out towards the end. I feel like that's gonna be like how it's gonna end, like on a cliffhanger, like that's when he figures it out. But he figures out pretty quickly that she's a Jasadi, and then for a bit he like can't prove it, but he's suspecting. And then she does show her magic, and that reveals herself to him, which all of that's like in the synopsis, so like I'm not giving anything away. And now he's like taken her away to use her to like draw out two other groups of Jasadis who I guess have been like kidnapping people to try and bring them to their cause, and he's trying to lure them out because I guess they have their eyes on her for some reason, which who knows, maybe it's because they suspect maybe she's the Jasad heir or not, but they're trying to get after her, and he wants to use her as bait essentially to get these people. And that's kind of where we're at. That's like, he just kind of revealed that part to us, so it's going well so far. And they're saying this is a romance. It's definitely enemies to lovers, because obviously they hate each other, but like this man, let's see, he broke her wrist at one point, he has stabbed her, and then he just punched her to knock her out. Like, this man does not like her. This is definitely enemies. There's not even like, people say enemies to lovers, but they still have like attraction. No, these two cannot stand each other. Okay, my camera cut off like literally halfway through my whole spiel, so I got cut off there for a bit. But anyways, just giving my final thoughts on this. I am thoroughly enjoying this so far. I'm putting it down for tonight, and I'm gonna pick up Thirsty and probably read this for the rest of the night, because I want to at least get a good chunk of the way through this, because this is the only NetGalley arc that I currently have. But like I said, I did put out a bunch of requests, so I have a feeling some of those might start coming in. Hopefully I don't get declined for everything, because that would suck. But I feel like some of those are going to start coming in, and I need to at least be ahead on this for a bit. But I have a feeling that I should get through this pretty quickly. I feel like this will be a fast read. But I think that's everything I want to talk about in this vlog. Let's review what we got through. So we finished Sword of Kaigen, and I think the last time we spoke I said I was going to give it 4.5 stars, but it is a solid 5-star, 100%. I definitely feel like this is going to be a book that sticks with me, and I'm going to be thinking about these characters for a good long time, so definitely 5 stars. And then Every Heart a Doorway, somewhat in the same vein. I think I'm bumping this up to 5 stars as well. Again, I just really loved this story. I loved all these characters, and I loved kind of how weird it was. So I'm giving it 5 stars. I really loved that ending. And then I also read, I finished the second book in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I didn't rate it on Goodreads because I really don't feel like I should be rating it at this time, but like for nostalgia's sake, it's definitely a 5-star read for me. And then we read The Enchanted Greenhouse. That was a solid 4-star read, a very good cozy fantasy with another little subplot of romance. So I think if you're into cozy fantasy, this would be a good one for you to check out. I think it comes out in July, so pretty soon. And the audiobook was also very good. I thought the performance is very well. I think that's all the books I completed in this, I want to say. Yes. And then for the books I started, obviously, I've already given my thoughts on Jasad Air. Really enjoying this so far. I literally only read the first chapter of Thirsty, but that first chapter was very good, and I had such a good time with it, so I am excited to pick this up and continue on with this for the rest of the night. And then Starling House, I'm about 20% of the way through. Haven't read any more for today, but I am also really enjoying that one. So hopefully I will love this one, because like I said, I've only ever read Alex Hero's short stories, so I'm hoping I will like this one as well. And then what's the last book? There's one more. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, I read half of the first chapter of Down Among the Stick and Bones, so I really have no thoughts on that. There's not much for me to tell you. And then I think I will be checking out, obviously, the third book for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm going to slowly make my way through that. But I think that's pretty much all the books we discussed in this video. So that's pretty much all I've got to say for today. Thank you for spending my weekend with me. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!